Hello friends. Welcome to T Academy. Let's continue the DOCCIL Executive Engineer Electrical Paper. Executive Electrical Paper, and the subject is machines, electrical machines here. In my previous videos, we discussed the networks questions. Now I am going to discuss the machines subject. Okay. The first question here it is: a transformer has 400 watts as iron losses at full load. The iron losses at a half full load will be, okay. And the given question, there is a transformer. So let's take a transformer here. Okay, like this transformer is a primary winding. This will be secondary winding. Now at full load means when it carries entire current. Okay, so it will have a losses of how much? 400 watts. Okay, so let me take some load here. Okay, right. Now the iron losses at a half of full load will be. So friends, remember that iron losses is also known as constant losses. That means the losses which are which are independent of load conditions. Okay, so once the machine is designed, the iron losses will be almost constant here. Okay, even the load fluctuations are there. Okay, so because of the load fluctuations, the flux will going to be constant here. The flux is constant means iron loss also constant. Okay, so that's the reason why the iron losses is a constant. So half load or a full load or quarter load, it doesn't affect. So answer will be whatever the watts are there, so they are the 400 watts here. Suppose in the same question, instead of asking the iron losses, if they ask copper losses, then the copper losses at the full load, for example. Okay, so copper losses, so copper losses means, so copper losses, so PCUFL is equal to, so 1 by x square into, okay, sorry, it's not a 1 by x square, it is x square into, so PCFL. So this PCFL is about at x load. Okay, now, so PCFL at half of the full load, that means half load, is nothing but 1 by 2 whole square into 400, is nothing but 100 watts. So option also available here, so don't confuse. The iron losses means it's remain constant, copper losses means whatever the load is there, you will take it here. Okay, so this is the answer if the question is asked for copper losses. Next question. uh, okay, right. A two-pole alternator is running at 1500 rpm. Its angular velocity will be, so to find the angular velocity, that means the given speed, to find the angular velocity, so angular velocity W is nothing but, so 2 pi ns by, sorry, 2 pi ns by 60 here. Okay, so what is that? 2 into pi means 3.14 into ns means 1500 divided by 60 here. Okay, so once you do the calculations here, you will get the answer as a 157 radians per second. Okay, so the answer will be 157 radians per second is the answer here. Next question. In a split phase induction motor, the two stator windings are, okay. So generally, why we are going for the split phase induction motor is, induction motor, single phase induction motor, we can call it as a single phase induction motor, which is not a self starting motor inherently. So self starting, okay. So self starting motor, so it's not a, so not self-starting motor. To make it self-starting motor, we are using two windings. The windings which are there are two windings. The first one we can call as a auxiliary winding or starting winding, which will have like this, and there will be another winding here. We can call as a main winding, and the first winding we can call as a auxiliary winding, or we can call as a starting winding. the starting winding. So here we have a rotor. Okay, so these two windings will carry a current. Suppose IS means here we have IA and here we have IM. The phase displacement between the two windings, that is I auxiliary winding and main winding currents, it should be electrically displaced by 90 degrees. Okay, so 90 degrees means to make the rotor to rotate. Okay, next one, core laminations in a transformer decreases. So generally the laminations are there in any transformer to reduce the iron losses. Okay, so why? Because whenever the flux carrying whenever the current carrying with the coil creates the flux here, the flux links with the core winding. Okay, the core winding sorry, the core winding will induce some EMF here. That EMF causes a current. That current circulates in this core. Okay, so to reduce the current here, we will go for the eddy current. We will go for the laminations. Okay, remember this word. Whenever you find the core lamination means the option should be eddy current. Okay, so most of the 99% cases, the lamination means to reduce the eddy current losses. Okay, suppose the option may be asked like this: the core lamination in transformer decreases which type of losses? The options may be core losses, copper losses, hysteresis losses, like that. They will ask. So under the option, you will choose the core losses. Okay, next one. A three-phase induction motor running at 4% slip, if the input to the rotor is 1000 watts, then the mechanical power developed by the motor will be. So in case of a three-phase induction motor, the relationship is follows: the input power, the copper losses, the gross mechanical power developed will be equal to, so 1 is to S is to 1 minus S. So from this, they given the rotor input and gross mechanical power is nothing but 1 by 1 minus S. So from this, PGM is nothing but, so P input into 1 minus S. So slip already you know how much it is, 4%. That is P input into, so 1 minus 4 divided by 100 here. Okay, power input is 1000 watts. That implies 1000 into 96 divided by 100 is nothing but 960 watts here. So the answer will be 960 watts here. Next question. The armature of a DC machine is placed on the rotor. Okay, any machine will have two things. The first one is the stator winding and second one will be rotor winding. So rotor winding is also known as armature winding here. Okay, so generally any AC machine, so basic structure is any AC machine will be have. If we add some commutator to that machine, then the machine will become a DC machine here. Okay, so commutator action must be there. Okay, so commutator action is possible only if the commutator is placed on the rotating part of the motor here, that is rotor. That is the answer is support commutation. So commutation makes the any AC machine to its DC machine here. Okay, next one. Washing machine generally employs a dash motor. So as you know that the washing machine generally employs a resistance split phase single phase induction motor here. Okay, so why just now we have seen that the single phase induction motor will have a resistance winding like this and there will be a main winding like this. So this will be, we can call as a main winding, and this winding we can call as the auxiliary winding, or we can also call as a starting winding. So starting winding will have, see, observe here, the starting winding will have high amount of resistance here. Okay, so this will have high amount of resistance, high value of resistance and a low value of inductance. Similarly, main winding, if you observe here, it will have high value of inductance, low value of resistance here. Okay, that is the reason why The washing machines are generally employed resistance split phase technique, single phase induction motors, and the resistance of the starting winding or auxiliary winding should be high. Once the machine starts, okay, then this auxiliary switch will be disconnected so that it will not consume any losses. But here, when the machine running, the main winding come into picture, and it should have low value of resistance so that it will not consume much energy, okay, in the form of heat. That's the reason why the single phase resistance split phase induction motor is used in the washing machine applications. Next one, an open circuit test on transformer gives. So generally we'll perform the different tests are there, open circuit test and short circuit test. Open circuit test is performed under rated flux condition. So rated flux condition is possible with the supply side. Suppose for example, if you take a 230 volts or 115 transformer, if you take here, any winding we can use here, but we will perform it on the lower side of the winding here. Okay, so because of this reason, the iron losses can be calculated very easily. So iron losses will have a combination of eddy current losses and hysteresis losses here. Okay, so these two losses can be found with the help of OC test here. Next one, next question here it is. In a 6-pole DC machine, 90 mechanical degree correspond to how many electrical degrees? So the basic formula here it is, that is theta electrical is equal to, so P into theta mechanical by 2 here. Okay, so number of poles are here 6, and a mechanical angle is 90 degrees divided by 2. So simply it is 270 degrees. That means in a 6-pole DC machine, the 90 degrees mechanical degrees corresponding to 270 in electrical degrees. Answer will be 270 here. Next one, a dash motor runs at highest speed when the load is removed. So the answer is a DC series motor. As you know that DC series motor, the armature current as well as the field current both are same only. So IF is nothing but here armature current. So both are same only here. Under no load condition, you know that no load means automatically the current will be 0. Okay, as it's 0, what about the flux? So flux also going to be 0. As per the basics, N is proportional to the back EMF by flux. As the flux goes down 0 value, speed automatically goes very high, especially in case of DC series motor. Suppose if we take a DC shunt motor, like this, we have winding, and here we have armature winding. Okay, so it will be like this. Now here no load means the current will be 0. So no load means current will be 0, but here observe here, these two connected in parallel, so that entire voltage will appear across this here, entire voltage will appear across here Vs, so that the flux will not going to be 0. So flux will be some constant value. So it is a DC shunt motor is a constant flux machine. Okay, so answer will be series motor here. Next one, the magnetic flux path in a transformer must have. The magnetic flux path means we have seen the core here earlier. So the core will have to pass the flux very easily, smoothly. Okay, it will not offer much opposition to the flux. So that means it should have low reluctance. Low reluctance means high flux should flow here. Okay, so answer will be low reluctance. Okay, we can say one more word here, high permeability we can say. So or high permeability. Okay, next one, the leakage flux in a transformer. So leakage flux in a transformer means the flux which will not do any useful work, that we can call as a leakage flux. Okay, the flux which is passing this outside air gap of the core we can call as a leakage leakage flux. Okay, so to avoid this leakage flux, what we will do is we will interleaving means, suppose if I place, for example, see here, suppose if I place a winding here, okay, if I place a winding, for example, let me take this a primary winding here, okay, I have considered. Now next what I will do is I will take secondary winding on the winding itself. So because of making this structure, that means the primary winding and secondary winding are interleaving means on top of one another one, we can reduce the leakage flux here. So answer is 3. Next one, the primary of a dash should never be energized when the secondary winding is open circuited. So answer is current transformer. Why? Because see, the current transformer winding will have few turns only, okay, and the secondary will have only single turn. So let me take a single turn here like this. Singleton is there. So whenever you are making the open circuited here, what will happen is V is equal to L into di by dt. So when you are energizing the current transformer, the current transformer will carry very high amount of current here. Okay. So whenever the difference in current is very high, open circuited means current will be 0 here. What will happen is V is going to be practically very high value. So very high value, so that the secondary winding may get a spark here like this, and it is very dangerous to the operating person who is operating this current transformer. So that's the reason why the current transformer should never be energized when secondary is open circuited, but when the potential transformer can be energized when secondary is in open circuit, but current transformer never be energized when the secondary is in open circuited. So answer will be current transformer. Next one, it's a basic question asked in the electrical machines for a simplex wave wound generator. So simplex wave, so wave is nothing but number of parallel paths will be equal to 2. So number of parallel paths equal to 2 here. Wound generator, EMF generated path is given by, so the basic formula is EG is nothing but 5ZNP by 60 into A here. Okay, as you know, for a wave connected winding, it is going to be A is equal to 2. So that's the reason why 5ZNP by 120. Okay, so 120 here. So answer will be B is the right answer. Next one, three-phase wound rotor motors are called as dash motors. So there are generally two types of motors are available, the three-phase induction motors. They are nothing but squirrel cage induction motors, and another one is slip ring induction motors. So squirrel cage induction motors, in which the rotor is a short circuited. Okay, in slip ring induction motor, the rotor is connected to star connected resistive network. Okay, so the phase wound rotor is also known as slip ring induction motor. Okay, next one, the running the machine at no load is not recommended for an. So we have already seen this question here, that the DC series motor, will have this signing, we have like this armature current and the field current. So both are same in case of DC series motor. Under no load condition, IA will be 0. So N is proportional to EB by 5. As the IA will be 0, automatically 5 will be 0. As the 5 will be 0, speed will be very high. That means if you run the motor under no load condition of a DC series motor to a DC series motor, it will going to be very dangerously high speeds. The speed control not possible. Next one, dash is a type of single phase motor which has lowest speed. The lowest speed is nothing but it's a shaded pole motor here. And one more thing is the direction of the shaded pole motor cannot be changed here. Shaded pole motor cannot be changed. Why? It is because it will have the shaded pole winding. It's a fixed direction. Okay, that means the shaded pole is a fixed one, so we cannot change the rotation. Okay, the applications are we can use this shaded pole motors in low speed devices such as hair dryers, toys, and electrical clocks also we can use. So we can use in electric clocks and hair dryers, etc., where we require low speed applications here. Next one, a capacitor start motor has. Okay, instead of the resistive winding, we can use a capacitor here. Okay, in case of single phase winding, then it will become a capacitor start motor. So capacitor start is used here to make the phase difference between the auxiliary winding and main winding to have a 90 degrees displacement and to make the motor starting. Okay, the capacitor start motor has a high power factor. Next one, the open circuit characteristics of a DC generator is also called as the open circuit characteristics of a DC generator is also known as no load characteristics and no load saturation. In this no load saturation value, okay, we will take the field current, and here we have generated EMF here. The wave starts like this. It will going to a point after this saturation. After that, it will remain constant value. Even though if you are increasing this field current, the voltage will not change here. Okay, so and there is a initially, if there is no field current, there will be some voltage here. That voltage we can call as residual voltage. This voltage is nothing but residual voltage. Practically it is around 10 volts. Okay, practically around it's a 10 volts here. The open circuit characteristics of a DC generator is also known as no load characteristics or no load saturation. Next one, the direction of rotation of a field in a three-phase induction motor depends upon. So three-phase induction motor will have a phase sequence of R, Y, B, and assuming that the motor is rotating in a clockwise direction. So if you want to change, just change any one phase here. That means R phase will be like this only, and just B and here Y, the motor automatically rotates in the counter clockwise direction. Okay, so the direction of rotation of the field in a three-phase induction motor can be changed by phase sequence of the supply voltage. Phase sequence of the supply voltage here. Next one, the function of dummy coils in a DC machine is to. Next here it is the function of dummy coils, dummy coils in DC machines is to. So why we are using this dummy coil, sir? In case of wave connection winding, in case of wave connected winding only, we are going to use this dummy coils. In case of a lab connected winding, there is no need of dummy coils. So why? Because when you start the winding with the wave connected winding, in case of wave connection, after the completion of winding, all the slots may not be covered with the windings. Okay, that means some slots will be left empty. Okay, for example, let's take here. So we have some slots here like this. Okay, some slots will be filled here, and some slots will be left alone. That means there is no winding in that. That time what will happen is when the machine is rotating, there will be a mechanically imbalance. So mechanically imbalance. So to make it balance, we will place some extra winding, which will be open circuit, which are going to be open circuit like this. So that type of winding is required in case of especially in wave connected winding. And one more important thing is equalizing rings are used in. So equalizing rings are used in lab connected winding. So here dummy coils are used in wave connected, equalizer rings are used in lab connected winding here. Next one, to obtain the greater efficiency, the slip of an induction motor should be. The slip of an induction motor is, we know that formula, Nr is equal to Ns into 1 minus S. So generally efficiency in general formula whatever it is Nr by Ns. When you want to make the good efficiency, the S value should be approximately equal to 0, but which is practically not possible, but approximately very small value. So that suppose if you assume that s is equal to 0, then nr will be equal to ns. At that time efficiency will be say 100%. So that means the slip of the induction motor should be as low as possible. Practically it will be 4 to 5% only. If the given data in the question paper, just consider it. Otherwise, just follow it as a 4 to 5% only. Okay. Next question here. The current drawn by a 220 volts DC motor of an armature resistance of 0.5 ohms and a back EMF of 180 volts is. So DC series DC motor is given. So DC motor means V is equal to EB plus IA into RA. So V they have given as a 220 volts and EB as 180 plus IA we don't know, just we know the value of 0.5 ohms here. Okay, so from this IA will be what you will get as a 80 amperes. So answer will be 80 amperes here. And the last question of this electrical machines paper, the magnetic flux density on the surface of an iron phase is 1.5 Tesla, which is a typical saturation level value of the ferromagnetic material. So find the force density on the iron phase. The force density on the iron phase will be 0.89 into 10 power 6 newtons per meter square. Okay, so that's it for this session. If you like this video, please give a comment and share with your friends. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe to my channel for more and more updates here. Thank you friends. Have a nice day.